So our validation is working, but we have a small problem in this form. Let me show you. I'm going to manually reload the app. Now, this time I'm not going to tap on this button. I just want to type something in the email field. Look, we have two validation errors. I haven't touched the password field, so why should I see this error? This is really easy to fix. We need to handle the unblur event of this input field, and there we need to mark this field as touched. Now, we should show the error message only if the field has been touched and it has an error. This is really easy to fix. So here's our input field. We need to handle the unblur event. We set this to a function. In this function, we need to mark this field as touched. How? Well, over here, we're going to pick another property called setFieldTouched. We also have setFieldError. If you want to programmatically assign an error to a field, we also have setFieldValue. With this, we can programmatically set the value of a field. We'll look at this in the future. So let's pick this property. Now, in this function, we call setFieldTouched and specify the name of the field. That is the email field. Now, we want to render this error message only if the field has been touched and it has an error. There are two ways to do this. One way is to use conditional rendering in React. So we wrap this in braces. Now we need a Boolean expression. We need to know if this field has been touched. To detect that, once again, we're going to add a property here. Touched. This is an object similar to the errors object. So for every field in this form, it has a key value pair. So here we can check if touched, that email is truthy, then we're going to render the error message component. That's one way. I personally don't like this approach in this context. I prefer to give this component a new prop like visible and set it to touch.email. So let's go to our error message component, give it a new prop, visible. Now, if visible is false or we don't have an error, we're going to return null. So nothing is going to get rendered. Okay, save. Now back to our login screen. I'm going to remove the conditional rendering and set visible to touched.email. Really simple. Now let's make the same change to our password field. So one more time, we handle the unblur event in this function. We mark this field as touched, the password field. And finally, we display the error message only if the field has been touched. So visible equals touched.password. Okay, let's test our app one more time. So I'm going to manually reload. Now let's type something here. No errors. But if I leave this field, I get this error. Because at this point, the unblur event is raised. So the field is marked as touched and our validation error gets displayed.